Hey, it's Danielle Harris. I'm Jamie Lloyd.
Jeffrey Landman, Billy Hill.
And Dominique Girard, the evil director. I'm very happy to be here with you, Danielle.
Oh, thank you.
And Jeffrey.
Likewise.
Yes.
And hoping to entertain a little bit with our incredible stories. We had such a fantastic time making this film, no?
We did.
We did. You put us through the ringer, Dominique.
Thank you for going through it. Thank you for offering your vulnerabilities and all your talent.
Thank you.
Because you made the movie happen.
With you.
I have always loved this title sequence.
Yeah, this is great.
It was an idea of mine. Mustafa really was supportive of my ideas. And a title company started to do some kind of test on it. And they inserted a camera inside the pumpkin and went into, sort of this incredible world of seeds and fibers and so on. And I said, Mustafa, that's not it. I just need to tell the audience how violent this film can be with extremely short little hits. And that's what it gave at the end,
It's great.
It starts off a little scary, and then when you discover that it's a pumpkin, it kind of puts everyone at ease.
Thank you. Yeah, humor,
Yeah.
because it's not evil. Never meant to have the film evil. Only meant to have the film touch something into the audience, which is our own feeling of fear. Fear of the boogeyman. We all have it. Fear of the night. Fear of the unknown. And that's what drove the writing of the film, because I rewrote the whole story with Michael Jacobs. And, this is the end of the last one. I have nothing to do with this.
I do.
You do, Danielle. Tell us a little bit. Where did you shoot that scene?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere in Utah. Actually, Michael was on little clear wires. There was a dummy hanging in the middle of the road.
Right.
And then we'd wear earplugs for all of this lovely stuff.
Some of this was new, though. I think there's a shot coming up that was brand new.
Yes.
Yeah,
shot.
that's right.
Thank you. Yes. I've inserted a few shots in order to bring the story further at the moment where the film ended. Sort of direct continuity with the previous story. I respected the basic plot of Halloween 4, pulled it, and imagined what this character, Jamie, had lived in number 4 for me was so traumatic. And that's it. That falling into the hole was theirs.
Yeah, I think this is where...
This is theirs, yeah.
And
The story
now
for it.
we're going to go in for the new film.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was the next year. All that stuff.
That's it. That's where we started the film. On the bottom of the hole, there was an escape route. Ta-da!
Wasn't there a story, Dominique? Didn't you hire someone else to play this guy that we're about to meet? And didn't you get rained out or something and got stuck up there? I remember hearing some weird story about that.
Yes. We're going to come to it. And we're going to tell you the tale. Michael Myers takes refuge by this man living by the river, which was cast by me as a young, very, very thin and odd-looking hermit type, solitary type of man. And Mustafa was not convinced because he thought, if Michael kills an old man at the beginning of the movie, the audience is going to be more sympathetic to the old man than if it is a young man. And said, I would like to change the character, but the scene was all shot, everyone liked it, also Mustafa liked it. So Ramsey Thomas, right arm to Mustafa, went into the same set where all our crew sort of ripped out all the set of the location because this is the new shot from Ramsey. You see the lighting is not quite the same as the rest of the movie. It doesn't match so well. This is our pictures. So he replaced the old man, the young man with the old man. And it's fine. It's totally fine. But we hoped not to let him do such a thing easily. We almost sabotaged his changing. But it was fair play.
So you weren't up there at all? He just did this by himself?
Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yep. I was shooting another scene with you guys.
Oh.
It was during
we
the
weren't
shoot.
told about this.
Directors have sometimes worries,
Sure.
that don't need to be shared with the
Sure.
actors.
But I remember this sequence, at least in the initial script, and I think in the final shooting script, was a lot longer. If I remember correctly, I may have to go home and look that up. But I remember more with the hermit.
Yes, there was some kind of communication between the beast and the hermit. Correct. I forget now the details. But, yeah, the 1 year later, there must have been something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have the script, Jeffrey?
Oh, I do. I have my initial script, and then I have a copy of what we finally shot.
Wow, I would
Probably
love
get a lot
to
for that on
read
eBay. I'll bring you a copy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'd love to see that one.
I was smart back then and thought, I'll hold on to this before any changes are made.
Look at the lighting. This is where we introduced the Danielle, the Jamie character. I think we were very privileged to have such a great cinematographer, Robert
Yes,
Draper,
yes.
onto the film.
Do you remember, didn't we shoot the hospital stuff all in one take, Dominique?
Yes, absolutely. The camera was coming close to your bed. You woke up in one take. We later in the editing inserted the reason for you being so traumatized, meaning why are you in such a clinic
Right.
and agitated at night, and why you have such a handicap of having lost your speaking abilities.
And I remember in a little bit you're going to see, Danielle, you're going to write something on the chalkboard without looking down. And I remember that you wrote that reel, right?
Yeah.
Like that,
Oh, yes.
that wasn't pre-written there.
No.
No. It
The
was
whole
in one
thing
take.
started
Right.
from the moment of me
Yep.
popping up screaming to me getting on the gurney and going down the stairs. It was one shot.
Yeah, it was quite extraordinary. I was flabbergasted by your performance.
Thank you.
No, you remember when I was telling you the story? You remind me of the tattoo. We're gonna get to the tattoo later. Oh, there were many questions from the
17
fans.
years later, we're still getting them.
Yes. You see, we tried to parallel what she felt
Right.
he was going through. As he was going through an awakening moment, she was awaking. And this link between her and Michael is the thing we suggest here in this first scene. This is, look, the chalkboard is empty and she wrote it. He's coming. Without cheating, Danielle, you're so great. You give me the brevities. How do you say that? The goose pimples.
The goosebumps.
Goosebumps, thank you. That was our shot, and that is the other crew shot with the old man.
Oh, sorry.
It was no, it was our shot. The one where he put the mask and turned
Oh, okay.
around. Yes. Well designed to see the mask, to present the character, the faceless character. There, you're amazing. How could you? I know that you were holding your breath and not breathing to get this red heat on your face. And of course, with all great cinematographers, we had our little fights because he felt being the king of the set. And at some point, when I'm doing all these shots, I'm asking him, no, this, and so on, and he's getting a little exhausted, but, likes it and works with me. When we get to the operating room, and I've got my camera going upside down,
That
this
shot.
one,
Oh, I
that
love
shot,
that shot.
That's great.
he says, oh, again, another film school student type of shot.
But it looks fantastic.
Oh, he said it at the time because he didn't want to fix the camera. It's so difficult to get the camera on top of the door. And why shoot upside down? I said, this is the way because her world changes,
Yeah.
goes upside down. I want to tell the
Oh,
audience.
I hated her breathing into my mouth.
Did she really?
Yes, she did. I
Oh, God.
was like, gross.
But
In the first half of this movie, you get quite manhandled.
Yeah, everyone. Ellie, I wish she was in a little more of the movie.
Yeah.
yes, I noticed also some fans who wrote, how come you killed her off so fast? And I said, because she is so wonderful. And because it is unjust to kill innocence. She represents the good, all-American, nice, innocent girl, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who did the whole previous film. And it is so unfair to have such a character being
Right. Probably
disappearing.
Shocking.
And that's very much why Halloween is what it is, in a sense that from that death on, anything is possible.
Right.
Any horror is possible because you've killed already the very nice
The
girl.
Right.
You know,
Sure.
the beautiful, the innocence, sexy.
Do you remember, because we're about to get to you drawing the dog, Danielle?
Oh, yeah.
I remember there was only, on the poster that you're drawing, I remember there was a lot of stress and pressure on you because there was only one of those posters.
Oh, right.
And I remember they had, for like an hour or so, they had you practicing on just random pieces of paper
Right.
to get exactly what the dog would look like without
Right.
ruining the poster.
Wow, you remember all kinds
Good
of stuff.
memory, Jeffrey.
Jeez Louise.
Yes, tell us some of
Where
those
was I?
details. It's wonderful.
I remember
You were
after
busy
the
drawing.
fact. Yeah, exactly.
Now this clinic, I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was like an abandoned, I don't think it was a hospital. I'm trying to remember correctly, but I believe it was like an abandoned electric company or something like that. That like 3 or 4 rooms were converted into the clinic.
I remembered especially the through the glass
Yeah.
drawing. I never remembered the poster. I remembered that. But it's so
And
cool.
there I am.
Hey, Jeffrey. What was your character's name?
Billy.
Billy, yes. Billy, the good friend.
Just trying to help her.
Yeah. Whatever.
Trying to overcome his handicap of the stutter, which I want to
Yeah.
go on record, I, Jeffrey Landman, do not have. The
That-
stutter was written into the script.
Yes, exactly. Tell me a little bit what your perception of it was.
Well, I remember the first week that we went to Utah, the first week before we started filming, I remember Danielle and I spent some time with a sign language expert
Right.
/ stuttering expert. I guess she was
Yes.
2 fields in one.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the stuttering, and she was teaching me about people that stutter, and specifically that during times of big crisis and strife, which you'll see in a little later at the pageant scene, people that stutter tend to stutter even more because in the stress you're rushing to try and get a word out
Yes.
and having trouble. So, I worked with that a lot of varying when Billy stuttered a lot versus a little. But I pretty much just stuck to what was written into the script as to what words were stuttered on, etc.
Yeah, why was he in the hospital?
Well, that's the thing is that in the original script, and we shot a lot of stuff showing me outside of the hospital during the day. And the backstory was that Billy was not in the hospital.
Correct.
It was just a friend of Jamie's. I don't think it was ever said in the movie, but I was told had been in the hospital and was out of the hospital now. And there was dialogue referring to, I think Donald Pleasance at one point told me it's time to go back to school. And that got cut. And pretty much most of my stuff outside the hospital during the day, I don't think you see me at all outside of the hospital.
No, I don't think so.
So in the finished product of the movie, it's just we assume that I was a fellow patient.
I remember Donald must have had a little liquor in his trailer before this scene because I was like, "Woo, my goodness, what is that?"
This line that I'm about to have, it's been 17 years, and I still get made fun of almost daily for this.
Are you okay?
Jamie, are you okay? All throughout high school, I heard that every day in the hallways.
Oh,
Thank you.
no.
Oh my
nice.
God! Oh yes.
You were so
imagine.
little.
I was.
Get your little strut.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. So giving the character Jamie such a handicap of not being able to express herself with her voice, it was difficult to get a totally normal speaking friend. And that's why the choice of giving someone who had real compassion to her. We will see that later it's much more than compassion, it's real love from his part to
Yeah.
her. There's this wonderful love declaration scene. But I thought that would make a couple that would bind themselves much further because he could understand anything that she had said
Right.
because he has also some kind of handicap, not as strong as hers, the stutter, but the link between them was stronger, to make a little team to confront evil. That was the wish. Oh, Ellie, the last scene.
Oh, every time I see this, I think, don't go in that room.
I know.
He's gonna get you.
She knows.
I love those suspense scenes.
Is there blood on that?
Yes.
Did he cut himself?
Yes.
Assumably. Oh, she knows.
I enjoyed shooting these scenes because they are scenes with one character inside a house. Nothing happens, all right? You follow the character. Empty screen moment, typically. And there's so much tension and release of tension. She goes to the same room.
What does she see?
She feels something.
Okay.
She doesn't see anything. There was no more visuals. But she just has the goose pimples, you say? No, the goose...
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Now, whenever you read online anywhere of mistakes in movies, etc., they always talk about this moment coming up, and I would like to take this moment to clarify it. So people always say she has no jacket on, the doorbell rings, and the next shot you see her in the jacket. And how did that happen? And I just want to clarify, and as we watch this as it's coming up, look, you see her in the bedroom with no jacket, but when you see her with a jacket on, she's down at the bottom of the stairwell with plenty of time to have put on the jacket.
Yeah.
Solved once and for all. She grabs the jacket.
There she goes.
Yes.
But now she's at the stairwell, which in the previous shot we saw was at the other end of the hallway. So we
Correct.
can assume she put on the jacket. We'll lay that one to rest.
People obsess about the weirdest things.
And that has always irked me because I've always wanted to just defend that moment and be like, that's not a mistake. There's a long hallway.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
Tamara.
Yes.
I loved her.
Oh, delightful.
Loved her. I thought she was so pretty. I
Yes.
just wanted to be like them. I was a little, and I just wanted to dress like them and
Of
be like
course.
them. And
You were living at their speed at the time on the movie. You were not ever taken as a child.
No.
Remember? You know, you were
I was
part
partying
of
with
yes,
them,
all
hanging
the
out
time.
at 9 in the morning, and
And I was trying to tell them, send her to bed. For God's sake.
no, I loved it.
This, you know.
There was a shot that we just passed where you see some pictures that Jamie has drawn. And I've read online also that people think it's Michael Myers. And I just want to go on record that I drew that and it was just a smiley face. Don't read into any of that.
For this scene,
I hated those pants. I thought they made my butt look big.
Mustafa Akkad, the producer, was telling me, Dominique. So she sees him from the window, and then, you know, she tries to escape and go outside, but she's trapped inside the hospital. She goes in the basement. It's very slow, Dominique. It's suspense. He's coming. Go easy. I said, Mustafa, don't think so. He said, what do you mean, Dominique? Well, I think it is really the moment to show fear and to show danger. She is in great danger right now. And I went down in the laundry room and I showed him all the sheets that I've laid down and so on, the lights effect that we wanted to play. We couldn't do it for him. But Mustafa was looking at the sheets. He says, good idea, Dominique, good idea. And so I said, it is a chase. He says, yeah, but the gardener, Dominique, the gardener is an old man. It's slow. I said, Mustafa, give me a try. Give me a shot. He did. He saw the dailies 3 days later. He never recommended to approach a scene his way. From that moment on. And then we shot quite early, that scene, in our shooting period.
Right. I remember running through the sheets. We didn't have a set game plan of how I was going to do it. And
No.
I remember Rob just had the handheld camera and
Correct.
just let me go crazy. And I thought, oh, God, I'm going to run right into him.
You did.
Yeah.
You knocked the box of the camera.
Oh, no.
Yes. I was right there behind Rob. 'Cause I could see what he was not seeing. He was seeing the frame of the camera, and I was seeing you, outside the frame. And I would jerk his shoulders to the right, to the left, or forward or backwards, so that he could follow you, anticipating where you were going to go.
I wonder why I'm so scared here.
Because
Why
it's-
is he
This
so
frightening man
angry?
is yelling at you.
Why is he so mad at me?
Because you're not telling him the truth. You're not telling him exactly what you know.
And I wonder why I'm protecting Michael.
You're not. It could be interpreted as protecting Michael, but you're confused. You're a child.
Right.
You're young, innocent. What is there to say? He was outside the window, and what
Right.
else? What else could you say?
That's it. Yeah.
And you know that if Michael comes to you, you are willing to give your body to finish the story. You're willing to go to the end of it.
All
The
right,
man in
here
black.
we go. What is this?
Everyone always thinks that's me, the little boy waiting for him, but it's not. But it does kind of quickly look like me.
Yes, I thought so too at some point. That was also a second unit shoot. That was Ramsey Thomas' contribution to the movie, because I didn't have time to go to the bus stop, basically.
Oh, I hated that he kicked the dog.
Yeah, but that's
That's
really
not me.
not you.
That's
No,
not me.
No, that's not you. We'll speak about the man in black in a while. This is the new interpretation of Michael Myers' house. And, of course, in the very first Halloween, his house was not a 3-story mansion, the way Gothic mansion, the way it is there. And some of the fans asked the questions, how come? And, you know, it is evident that we have a showdown for 15 minutes in this location. We have interior scenes where we need laundry chutes, corridors, an attic, a basement, a huge plan, a living floor, kitchen, bedrooms, you know? And in a normal house, the way the Halloween house was first set up, not too much was played inside. And I thought this house was extraordinary. We had to empty out the family that was living in there.
Because this was a livable house at the
Beautiful,
time.
wasn't it?
Correct.
Like,
Yeah.
and you guys just went in there and
And
fucked
we
ripped it up.
we created a set by really damaging part of the property, putting the plants inside, you see, you know, decorating it. Brent Swift is an amazing art director, production designer, really. That's the laundry chute that's going to play. We are now presenting the location for the showdown. Obviously, we're doing the tour of the house with Loomis, who says Michael Myers has come back. He will go, obviously, to his house. The tattoo, to link them, that was a story that came up during the shoot. Mustafa was saying, Dominique, I need another link for Halloween 6. I need a hook. Please, let's find something. And I said,
in
what,
the middle
what,
of
what?
shooting. Can you
In the
imagine?
middle of shooting. And I said, what about, does he have a brother? Because, you know, I'm not an expert on Michael Myers. I says, no, we could make him a brother. And I said, okay, man come out of town. Oh, yes, this is great. I mean, this is great. I said, but I don't know the story. I don't know how it links. This man has one function. He frees Michael from the entrapment at the end, the prison. And that's all I needed to tell as a story. And to the crew of Halloween 6 to figure out exactly his relationship to Michael and so on. But I needed to say, soul brother, see, now he's locking this laundry chute really well because he doesn't want other dead animals to fall down, or dead girls, maybe. And the tattoo came up while I was shooting. And do you know what I drew? I drew this sign, which is a straight line with a triangle and 2 points, which is a Celtic rune. It's a force. There's 12 runes, or 18, but 12. And these Celtic runes are a sort of magical force. And that's why I drew it on them.
In the original script, did you ever talk to Mustafa, Dominique, about me becoming a killer with Michael?
Yes, of course.
And why did you remember why he said he didn't want to?
Yeah, I said it's too much innocence. You can't do that, Mustafa.
Right.
So it's really ambiguous. And to have innocence, a young girl, 11 years old, start becoming a danger for a community was maybe too
That's
immoral.
a lot, yeah.
I remember that there was a lot of discussion and last-minute changing as to what the Halloween costumes for Tina and Sam were going to be.
Right.
Because I remember, I think Tina was initially supposed to be the devil, but at the last minute it was decided that she, you know, it was something a little less provocative is not the right word, but, you know, the devil is not going to be the quote-unquote heroine of the movie.
Right.
So Sam became the devil.
Do you remember the kittens in the barn? Doc Zeus, the great animal trainer, and his wife and child came to see what were our need with animals on the film. There was the dog, there was those kittens. And so I explained the scene. He's the animal trainer who did the bear. You know, he has rather a zoo of animals. He lives not far away from Salt Lake City. The day we were shooting these little kittens, I realized that their child, who was maybe 12 years old, a young girl, had a way with the kittens because she had a little whistle and was playing with the kittens all the time. And I said, "Dog," and to the mom, "Can we let the child do the animal training stuff?" And they were so thankful to me because we shot the whole night. The girl was with us, made those cats go from A to B like nobody's business. She was so successful, and she was so proud and so glad that she was able to help the movie. And here are the kittens. And this girl did a wonderful job.
Now, why would he wear a Michael Myers costume, knowing that, you know, what the story is with our family?
Oh, because it's bad black humor for the cops.
Right.
It's a setup for the cops, and you know, this is lots of fans may wear Michael Myers' costume because it's part of. We're allowed to laugh about everything in life.
Now, they didn't really get along, did they?
No. Tamara was very frightened of the love scene.
Yeah.
And
I remember I was on
remember that.
set. She asked me to come sit on set for it.
right, because she needed all the protection of the world that she could have. And weeks earlier at the casting sessions, you know, I chose Tamara because of her sensuality, her beauty, her female attributes, all her desirable thing for any
Just
human maleness. And closer we were getting to the love scene, harder she became, tenser she became, and unfeminine. It was so strange to see that. And of course I was forbidding Craig and all his team to party too much with her because I was thinking, it's the partying. She's going too far. And she's now tired and she's not voluptuous anymore. And you will see in the love scene that follows, or Matthew's hands are in fact my hands. Because she was so frightened. I said, come on, Tamara. And she had a great trust. We were laughing, we were joking. And she knew she was just, despite herself, very shy girl, very sort of held back. And it went well, finally, the love scene. But it was really a very difficult moment for her. Oh, I don't think it had a lot to do with him. It was not against Matthew. It was simply she got tight.
Right.
Oh, how beautiful. It's terrific. But you see, this is the typical line of Halloween. In a sense, different than Friday the 13th, different than Nightmare on Elm Street. It is long suspense, Hitchcockian type of suspense, and very short kills. Very little gore, and violent, but extremely short.
Now
These scenes are fantastic. That's it.
I love the car chase sequence.
Yeah.
I thought I came so close to dying.
Yes.
Real life, just running in front of that car.
We couldn't break.
We were really running in front of this car, and in retrospect,
I would never do it
would
again.
never do
ever,
that.
ever.
But thank you for trusting me, guys.
and there is, I will point out, there is a mistake coming up, which is the car drove directly into a mirror, and we were running maybe 5 feet to the left of it. And if in one of the shots where the camera was filming the mirror, and there's a shot coming up where you can see that Michael is on the wrong side. He's on the passenger side.
You're
It's
correct.
It's the reflection that we're watching.
Yes.
So right there, with the shot we
Yeah.
just saw, he's in the
Yeah.
passenger seat. And here we go. Hit the little kid. That's nice.
Yes.
And was that really you that jumped out of the way?
That was me that
Yes,
jumped out of the way,
yes.
but
Wow.
the tumble was not me.
And then this is I'm split here between me and Laura Dash. Like
Laura
that's me
Dash.
running, and
That's
there's Laura.
Laura.
Yeah,
If you look closely, you can tell when the hair is different.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's me again. And I mean, that's look how fast he's
No,
going.
that's accelerated, yes.
And then
I
this was
actually-
wasn't this was a real forest that we were
Yeah.
actually. I mean,
Correct.
there was a path
Look how
for them to
close,
drive,
isn't
but
that
we,
Yes,
nuts?
yeah, yeah.
you were far
Yeah.
too close.
And I remember like just having like a path that the
Yeah.
stunt coordinator had said, go here, go here, go there. But if I messed up, forget about it. And I also remember I had food poisoning this day,
Oh my God.
and I was getting sick in between takes.
I remember being told right before we shot this that I was supposed to have 2 broken legs and 2 broken arms. Go. And I know that wasn't literal, but I just remember that as being told what quote unquote happened to Billy, and never really questioning that 2 broken legs I would not be walking around.
This rage which drives you, you think if you kill them all, it will go away. It won't.
Why does he never come after him? Really?
Because he knows he can heal him. Because he knows it could be a salvation, potentially. That's why we have the meeting by the window inside the house.
Michael, go home. Go home!
And it's so odd Donald did this text his own. Because we were rehearsing it. I was seeing an interpretation. I was trying to lead him there. But Donald stood his ground and gave it his own rhythm, his own soul into it. And that is a great actor, to make a speech one's own.
I've actually had people ask me why you sit there and brush your hair, and to them I say, watch the first one.
And when Mustafa was watching the film with the trailer team who created the trailers, that's when the idea was, we're going to publicize this film as the revenge of Michael Myers on the police side. And they started to make a campaign of trailers saying the police is after Michael Myers, which was not the case in previous Halloweens in such an extent. And it was just the fact that I was able to multiply the number of police cars.
An interesting footnote is that I know they made 3 masks for Halloween 5, and one of them is in the Smithsonian.
Oh, wow.
They wanted, I believe the Smithsonian asked for a mask to represent the Halloween movies, and they gave them one of the ones from number 5.
With Greg and the K&B team, we worked so much on redoing a mask for Michael, because anyways, in latex, the one of Halloween 4 were ruined and not fitting really anymore Don Shank's face features. And as I wanted to render Michael more human in this film, and we will see why in the attic later on, I wanted to have him away from the hockey mask of Friday the 13th. I wanted to have it more human. And 2 days after the beginning of shoot, I realized in the garden when we did the daylight scene that his nose was too soft, too human. And we had to change again the mask while we shot in order to make his nose a little more harder lined, rigid, so that it is less human. So I'm glad we really studied this mask, that it ended up at the Smithsonian.
I'd like to point out that I'm not in this scene.
Oh,
I was supposed to be,
I thought you were.
but in the script I was, and I believe I was either not called for shooting that night, or I had already left to come back to New York after shooting was done for me. For some reason, I was not called to the set this day, so you never see me alive at the end. But technically, I'm supposed to be there, and I'm still alive. Just wanna go on
Absolutely.
record.
Oh,
Billy lives.
I remember that, but it's strange.
I really haven't seen another horror movie like this where there's a little kid all by herself trying to fight off, the devil basically. And climbing into that air conditioning chute.
I remember when I first read that, I was like, that is brilliant,
Right.
putting her in the laundry chute.
Yeah.
Because it's also something every little kid has wanted to try at some point.
And you know,
Oh,
I
yes.
wasn't harnessed or anything. I mean,
No.
I just managed to stick my body in there.
Yes,
and,
yes.
and prop myself up, and I just so happened to fit. And it's not like I was, you know, they built it around my size.
No, but you were so
Just hopped in
courageous, and you
there.
were so proud to fit like this.
I
and to
know, I
hold.
loved it. I remember in breaks when they were changing lenses, I didn't need to get out. I just would hang out in there.
The knife hit against
It's
the
right
leg.
there.
It was right there.
Yeah.
Yes, had
I'm
been
looking
cut
at it
by
now.
the yes,
Yeah.
and that has been cut by the censorship, of course. Was not gory. It was really simply the knife entering the flesh for half a second and coming out. So there was no blood coming out of the leg and so on. It was just too strong
Right.
for anyone to accept that a little girl
You'll see it.
was
Yeah.
hit by a knife through a laundry chute.
See it right there?
That's it. Big wound. Yes,
Yeah.
we did it. Especially you climbed out this way to show it. Do you
Yeah.
remember?
And there was a big chunk of wax, I think that's what it
Yes.
was.
Yeah.
It was weird because out of all of the things that I saw and did, what bothered me the most out of this was getting in that coffin. I had a really
Yes.
hard time getting in there,
Yes.
like dealing with it emotionally. I don't know, it just really bothered me.
I remember that. And that's where you realized that your sister was dying. Had died.
I remember I was really afraid that my dress was going to catch on fire.
Yes. Yeah, because at
Because
some
of all
point.
the crinoline and everything, I thought I was supposed to come out of it and knock it over, and I thought I'm going to catch on fire. I know I am.
That was our fear to all of us.
And then when I say uncle, this is actually Lana, Mustafa's daughter's voice. That's not my voice.
Really?
That's Lana's voice. She did my ADR for me. Now, didn't
want
Don
her.
break his nose doing the scene down?
Yes, because of the coffin hit his nose when he was throwing it. He hurt himself because of the cover, the of the coffin that came down. It was very difficult to conceive the end of the movie, and to conceive it into the home of Michael Myers, and to conceive it so simplistically with a fight man to man, not 10 guys shooting with lots of guns at a poor human being or at evil, just some tranquilizers and a piece of wood. And I thought, when Mustafa saw that, he said, "But Dominique, it's going to be too thin. It's not going to be a great climax." I said, "Mustafa, trust me." And at the time, he hadn't known me very well. And he said, whoa. We'll see. But I think the impact of this scene is really interesting.
I was going to say, what I also like is that it's Loomis taking him down, as
Yeah.
opposed to in number 4, it's Rachel. And, this is sort of, Loomis's great moment. in
And
that
the heart
he's
attack.
personally defeating Michael.
Yes, because it was supposed to be his last movie.
Right.
He was wounded by Michael and has a heart attack. Donald Pleasance had wanted to work less and finish with the series, and they die one on top of each other, face to face, basically. The idea was to give him the opportunity to leave the series. I understand he came back for 6, but that was the plan with Mustafa. I'm not convinced about this shot of him in the prison with the mask.
Yeah.
I
I
could
just
ne-
thought that
with
for the
the
first moment.
mask.
I was like, why does he still have the mask on?
I couldn't. I was really go against the convention? No. And show him, like transition home, prison, because of the light of the cop cars and, so if he's home, he should have the mask on. And but I never, give it credibility. My real ending that I remember right now is the one between Loomis and him inside the house.
Right.
And the cops coming to save you. Have you ever seen steel bars with flames?
No?
No. Halloween 5.